Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, I would like to say a few words about the invitation to the staff. I know, I think the email has been issued to all of you to say that your attendance is compulsory. Actually, I did not mean that. You can excuse yourself if you feel that you are busy, but if you want to be here, you are welcome, because this is very important as well to share my views, and you can share with your students as well. Okay, let me start with. This is my presentation outline today. First, I would like to start with the milestone in PhD journey, and then the requirement in thesis writing. Then I will introduce the structure of thesis, unit writing, and lastly conclusion. This is basically the thing that I will touch today. Okay, I will start with a thesis is a kind of report. So this is a very important phrase that you must coin in your brain, in your head. A thesis is just a report. Okay? If you cannot have these kinds of understanding, it will be very difficult for you, because you thought that writing a thesis, while you are writing a novel, nothing, whatever type of writing, but it's actually a report. However, my second point over there, you can see that there is no common structure of the thesis. There is no common structure. That's a problem. If you look at from one university to another university, from one supervisor to another supervisor, they will offer you different types of structure. It depending on the supervisor's wishes, experience, liking. So whether it's correct or not, I don't want to answer. I don't want to comment. I don't want to comment it. It's up to the supervisors, because the supervisor will offer the advice to the students, so that the thesis will be evaluated by the examiners. The examiners will have the power to judge whether the thesis is correct or not correct. You have to bear in mind this. Okay? And again, I would like to emphasize this point. I'm not trying to advocate uniformity of standard, meaning that I do not want to tell you, to suggest to you, this is a standard. No, I'm not doing this. I'm just giving you another perspective. And again, let me remind you, this is not a standard. Just from my experience, I gathered this, and I put to you so that you can think of. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, must bear in mind that PhD work is considered completed when you able to produce PhD. No matter how smart you are, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter how good your experiment was, but if you are unable to write a thesis, you are no way, man. You are nobody. You are nothing. Let me share with you one story. This is a real story. A friend of mine from history department. I don't want to mention the name. That guy was very, very brilliant, very, very good. He scored first class from Oxford and doing master also in Oxford. And then after that, he was doing PhD. After some years writing the thesis and about to submit that thesis, and then something came into their on his mind. Then he said that, oh, this thesis is not good quality, and he did not submit the thesis. Even though this is already completed, and until now he did not get the PhD. Even though this is very good. So my point that I want to put to you, you must work hard to write a thesis and submit it. Whether you get major correction, minor correction, or what, that one is secondary, not really important. The most important thing, you must submit it. As far as I know, in my faculty, I don't know your other faculty, as far as I know, there is no case of failure of PhD. Am I right to you? There's no case of failure of PhD in my faculty. I don't know other faculty. So it means what? You have to submit it. Let the examiner judge your work whether it's up to the standard or not. And that's 3 words, 3C. Clear, concise, and logical manner. You must, this is 3 words, keywords, that you must always observe in your writings. Okay, the first one that I said to you just now about the milestone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the milestones. Without this, milestone, what is milestone? Indicator. It's an indicator of your journey, of your whatever. The first milestone is, according to many literature, says that the first milestone is you must establish the problems. The key word there, establish a problems. Alright, if someone give you the problem but you did not establish it as a problem, it's not a problem yet to be accepted in PhD work. So you must work to establish it. So what does it mean by establish? Establish meaning that you have to come up with evidence to support your claim this is a problem. This is the first milestones. Secondly, once you know the problem, you must offer the solution. Your own solution, I repeat, your own solution, not other people's solution. It doesn't matter whether you are doing qualitative, quantitative, similar. You must offer your own solution. In order offering your solution, you have to put in the document. To put into the document, we call it modeling the solutions. I use the word modeling the solutions. Right? You cannot offer the solution if you did not check what people have done. Unless you know what people have done in the world. Then the next milestone, you have to evaluate your solution, whether your solution is effective or not. Lastly, you must report what you have done. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important piece of information that you must understand this. You must remember this, the milestones. Because this milestone will guide you to do your PhD. The first thing first, you must be successful to achieve the first milestone. That's why sometimes you need 1 year to establish the first milestone. It takes some time. I don't know at the faculty, but I'm talking from my faculty perspective. It takes 1 year to establish it. So don't give up, don't lose hope. If you spend 1 year, try to establish your problems. So this is the problem establishment. So you must remember the difference between potential problem with established problems. You find a potential problem first. That's why you have to do the literature review. In order to identify potential problem, it's not a problem yet. Once you prove it to be a problem, then it's a problem. Okay? So what is problem then? What is problem? Briefly, we can define problem is a state of negativity. A state of negativity is called a problem. Then after that, you have to model, as I already mentioned just now. Once you identify the problems, then you have to offer the solution. This is your PhD. You must offer your own solution. If you are copying people's solution, it's not your PhD. Next one is evaluation, and lastly, writing a report. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, have a look at this. So this is my, what you call it, I'm using 7 chapters. I always ask my student to write 7 chapters. You can write 3 chapters, 5 chapters, 6 chapters. It's up to the supervisors. But in my case, I choose 7. Why 7? I'll give you the reason. Okay, number 1, chapter 1 is introduction. Number 2, literature review. Number 3, I use the word problem analysis. Why I put a problem analysis? Because I want to establish the problem. That's why I call it problem analysis. If the student can analyze the problem, then he or she is able to establish the problem. So this is the strength of your PhD. I repeat, this is your strength of your PhD. Without establishing the problem, your PhD is very, very loose, very weak. Because one of the requirements in PhD, the problem that you want to solve must be unique. Of course, number 4, modelings and then evaluation, result and discussion, lastly conclusion. You can see that, what is it? Introduction is to introduce readers about the research. I just recommend my student to write about 9 to 11 pages for chapter 1. 9 to 11 pages. You look at that chapter 2, I said, what is it? To identify potential problem by reviewing the past work and to understand the domain. To understand the domain is called epistemology. It's called epistemology. So these 2 criteria must be exist in your literature review. Chapter 3, to establish the research problem. And chapter number 4, to propose the solution. And number 5, to evaluate the effectiveness of the solution. And number 6, to analyze and to verify the results. And number 7, to evaluate the achievement of the objective of the research. So this is the thing that we do, okay? The next one, this is the layout, the common layout that we always have. For example, you get that, number 1, layout, the first layout, you got 7 chapters. Layout 2 got 6 chapters. Layout 2 got 6, 3 also 6, but layout 4 only got 5 chapters. So the number of chapters per thesis solely depending on the supervisor's recommendations, right? They are trying to impose on you how many chapters you need to write. Whether it's correct or not, you have to recheck. How to recheck? Remember, a report of your research. A thesis is a report of your thesis. If you are not report of your research, it is not correct. Okay? Now, look at number 1. Okay, introduction, all layout, they have introduction. No question. Chapter 2, all layout, they have literature review. But chapter 3, different. Some say problem analysis, some says research methodology, and some says experiment 1. Depending on what types, the format or the layout of your thesis. Depending. Education, for example, they will use layout 4. Education from education faculty. But conclusion is still the same. Whether you are writing 7 chapters or 6 chapters or 5 chapters, your thesis must contain conclusion. Now, okay, so this is, I don't want to argue with this because you've got so many variety of layout that you can choose from. It's depending on your supervisor's recommendations. But let's start by provoking ourselves. What is a thesis? Now we heard that the word hypothesis, hypothesis, from the root word thesis plus hype. What is this hype? Hype means not true. So you combine that two words, it means that it's not true, not proven yet. It's called hypothesis. We got the word synthesis. We are synchronizing between two sets of elements. They call it synthesis. Then we got another word, is called antithesis. In order to arrive at thesis, you have to go opposite. You have to argue back the statement. What is a thesis? Thesis is a proven statement of fact. It's a proven statement of fact. That's a thesis. This is the meaning of a thesis. But we are not interested in this, right? We are interested in this. A thesis is a report, merely a report. Merely a report of undertaken academic research work. That's all. It's not big deal about this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is another point that I would like to share with you. If you look at that, every single chapter, there are several sections that you need to write. So if you look at here, this is introduction. You read here, then these are the things that you have to do. The content in your chapter 1. So what is the problem for you to write? It's not really a problem, right? Because you know all the things that you need to write. Similar, you go anywhere, you take one thesis anywhere, similar. So whether you are supposedly to write, number one, motivation of your research. Of course, what? Why you take the research? Secondly, you must state the problems. What problem you are trying to address. Then you have to state the objective of your research, what you are trying to achieve. Then you just simply highlight the method you use in order to solve the problem. That's basically about chapter 1. This is the next one, chapter 3, chapter 4, and so on. Okay. This is only introductory, right? It's not the gist of my lecture today. Now, this is the thing that I want to discuss. So can you imagine your thesis will be examined by people? Normally, in UM environments, the thesis will be evaluated by a professor. Full stop. Do you think the life of a professor they have a lot of time? Do you think? They are busy people. If they look at your thesis, make them, I use the word them, not maybe him or her, stressful, do you think that they will be happy to read your thesis? You ask yourself. Put yourself in their shoes. They are not really happy to read your thesis. When they are not happy to read your thesis, what is the consequences? So this is why I said to you, first you must make sure your thesis is easy to read and to understand. And I do believe this. If I get a thesis and then I read it and I don't understand it, it doesn't mean that I'm stupid. It does not mean I'm stupid. Then I will put the blame on the thesis. The writer of the thesis is stupid, because they are not able to write to make me understand what the thesis is about. Number two, well structured and clear, with a clear flow. This is called coherent. And the third one, interesting. So I always tell my students to write a thesis, a storyline. A storyline. And I would like to recommend you guys, ladies and gentlemen here, try to write about 350 words. A story about your thesis. This is my recommendation. I think nobody ever suggested to you. Try to write a story, I repeat, a story of your thesis in 350 words. It's just like how to make it interesting, so that you ask other people, your friend, to read it, whether it's boring or not. Then you would know whether your thesis is interesting or not. Remember, you must attract the readers to read your thesis. Whether it's interesting or not is subject to someone else's perspective. So you must be able to use this to attract the attention of the readers to read your thesis. And of course, lastly, your thesis must contain substance. If your thesis doesn't contain this substance, it means that nothing much people are looking in your thesis. Okay? This is the structure of thesis. Remember, this is a report that you must write. So before you start writing, you must have in mind that a thesis comprises of several chapters. How many chapters? I don't want to determine it. It's up to you. It's up to your supervisor. But fundamentally, it must contain several chapters. The number of chapters must cover, I repeat, must cover the research process. The number of chapters, I repeat, the number of chapters must cover the research process. Okay? So every chapter, it has ABC. I call it abstract, body, and conclusion. Please remember this. Every chapter, it has three components. A, abstract, B, body, and lastly, conclusion. Now, we can put this in a form of diagram. You can see that. Okay, we have, in my case, I have 7 chapters. So we've got chapters, we've got abstract, we've got body, and we've got conclusion. Okay? Similar. But chapter 1, chapter 7, they don't have conclusion, because it's nothing to conclude from these 2 chapters. Chapter 1 and chapter 7, they don't have conclusion because they have nothing to conclude. Okay? I use the word conclusion, not summary. Why? Why? Because abstract is a summary of the chapter contents. So, if abstract is a summary of the chapter content, but if you put at the end of the chapter a summary, you are repeating the same thing. You are duplicating the same thing. What's the point? That's why I said to you, you must put this one, abstract, body, and conclude. So you put here, this is summary of the content, summary of your chapter, and the objective of your chapter. So the readers knows what are the purpose of this chapter. Okay, you want to identify, for example, you want to identify a problem in the domain of what? You mentioned it. Okay, then conclusion, you have to evaluate whether you have achieved the objective here or not, that you have mentioned here. This is called conclusion, not summary. That's why when I look at a thesis, from many theses, they put here summary, and I become puzzled. No, here you put summary, and then here you put summary. What's the point? Okay, so this is my perspective. Body. Then lastly, you see that conclusion is evaluation on the chapter's objective, and it's not a summary, as it has been misunderstood. So if you look at that, so every chapter, they got these three components. Every chapter, except chapter 1 and chapter 7, if we choose 7 chapters. Okay, I show you. When you are writing, it's called unit of writing, refers to thesis, chapters, section, subsection, paragraph, and sentences. Okay, this is another models. I will go back here. Let me show you another example first. This is the example. Look at here. This example, there's no abstract. This example, no abstract. This example got abstract. This is abstract. Okay, the summary. This is from here. It contains the summary of the content. This is the objective of the chapter. Which one that you think, in your opinion, in your logical mind, to say that which one is more easy to follow? This one or this one? You ask yourselves. Because here you are given with the material, then you are expected to understand the aim or the reason why the writer is writing this. Then the readers become very stressful, you know. He doesn't know what to read, what to expect. That's why I said you must tell the readers what you are doing. You look at that. These are models. You can see that this is chapter, this is section, this is subsection, this is paragraph, this is sentences. Please use this, because if you use this, your writing will be well structured. Well structured. I'll give you the example. Let me look at the thesis. They call it sections, but only one paragraph. How can a section only contain one paragraph? It's not sections. Right? So if you look at it recursively, section must contain several subsections. Subsection must contain several paragraphs. This is the model. This is the model says. You must contain several. Then it looks logical. Otherwise it doesn't look logical at all. Okay, I already mentioned just now about this. Again, each chapter is written with certain objective. Chapter 1, what is the objective? I already mentioned just now. Chapter 2, what is the objective? You must bear in mind that you write certain chapter with certain objective. You cannot simply just wake up from your sleep, then you think something and then you start writing. No, man, you have to base on your objective. When you start writing, you must be certain on the objective that you are trying to base on, to achieve. You cannot simply write whatever you like to write. Okay, now this is the advantage, see? Guidance in writing. The second one, it will also be used by the examiners to evaluate the chapters. If your chapter says you want to identify the problems, then the body will present the materials, and the conclusion must conclude whether you achieve or not the objective. Then the examiners can see whether you are really doing what you are stating or you are not. I put in here, I said that it is highly recommended to write statement or objective for the chapter in the abstract. Remember that every chapter we got abstract, body and conclusion. So we have to write the statement objective in the abstract. When I still remember, you know, how many of you are from Hindu background? Okay, Ram, do you know the concept of pura? Pura, you're right. Pura, they have a pura in the room. They have a pura in the house. They have a pura in their village. Am I right? Right? The concept of recursive, right? Yes, Mila, you should know this pura. This is why you go to Bali. You go to Bali, you see a lots of pura. Pura is a small. Huh? Yeah, but too big. This one, it depends on the location of the thing. This one is called pura. You don't know, right? No way. If you go to Bali, right, you can see a lots of places where people worshipping something, right? They got a kind of temple, right? Because that's concept. The concept is every single space they must have pura. Small, yeah. Okay. So similarly like this. So okay, in our thesis, remember in section 1.3 we state the objective. The small pura you have to mention objective in abstract. In abstract. Okay? This is already shown you just now. Okay. Sections. What is sections? So if you say this is a section, it means that you have divisions of what? Main idea in your chapter. And make sure you have contains a lot of subsection. If not, it's not. It's a section. So fundamentally, it must contain several sections, and section is subsystem of a chapter. This is what I meant. Okay, here, section. For example, this section, right? We got in section, we got subsection. So this subsection, they have a paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph and so on. So in the paragraph, we got title. This is the thing. Title, explanation, and evaluation. Still A, B, C. This one A, B, C. Still, right? Hello guys, are you with me? Still. So no matter how small the unit of writing, this is called unit of writing, this is called unit of writing, this is called unit of writing. Okay? No matter how small the unit of writing, it must contain ABC. It must contain ABC. So this is an example. So when you want to write a paragraph, for example, you start with writing the title of the paragraph. Title of the paragraph. Then you explain about the title of the paragraph. Then you evaluate. When you are evaluating, it means you are concluding your explanations. That's what I mean. Okay, this is sections. Example. This is what I want you to try to. For example, this section presents the methodology of data collection. And this is the main issue, whether you want to use we, whatever, it's up to you, up to your supervisor. But to me, it's not really big deal. To me, it's very trivial. I can use we, whatever you want. Okay? These are examples. You tell what? This when you write like this section presents the methodology of data. So you know, the readers know this section must contain about this only. Right? And easy to follow. And then the reader will not be stressful. Otherwise, we just simply start, oh, the methodology I use, this, then you expect the reader to understand what you are trying to write about. Again, this is another example. Okay? Don't worry, guys. I have another few slides only. But after that, we can go back. Subsection, similar. Remember chapter, section, subsections. And always remember, subsection must contain at least 2 and more paragraphs. If not, it's not subsections. This is very basic, very basic. But the basic thing maybe people always overlook. Okay? For example here. This is paragraph I already mentioned just now. Paragraph. Never be, remember, never be one paragraph to constitute one subsection. Never. Remember this. Now, sometimes people bring to me their thesis report. I have a glance, then I look at this. Oh, this is good thesis or not good thesis. Good referring to the appearance of the thesis. I don't have to read through all of this. I don't need to read through all of this. As a glance, I can understand. I can judge whether it's a good thesis or not. Right? This is another example of paragraph. Conclusions. Finish. Conclusion. A good thesis. This is I put in my conclusion. A good thesis is beautifully structured and able to help the examiners to follow and understand the flow. Beautifully. Appearance of the thesis can influence the examiner's perceptions on the quality of work and generously award the mark. Guy, your thesis will be read by a human being, right? It's not going to be checked by a robot. Remember this. No matter who they are, white people, black people, colored people, male, female, they got emotions. So if you disturb their emotions, they become unstable. Right? Whether they are living in very hot countries, or very cold, or extreme weather they are still the same. Again, lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to offer my advice to you guys.
Thank you.
The writing is the most challenging part in doing PhD. But on top of that, the highest challenge for you in doing PhD is to keep focus. Okay, to keep focus. I tell you guys, if you cannot focus in your PhD, forget about PhD. You better go back, you better do something else. Abandon your PhD, do something else. If you cannot focus. Because PhD is about keep focusing on your work. That's all. It's not about intelligence. It's not so much about intelligence. Because you are, when you being registered as a PhD candidate, it's already proven that your mental is sound. Right? Otherwise you cannot get bachelor or master, right? Hasan? So that's why I said it's not about intelligence, it's about your hard work, about your whether you can keep focus on it. That's all. That's all. So if you come here, for example, to this country without that two qualities, it will be very difficult for you to complete your PhD. I tell you, PhD mainly, I repeat, this is to me, PhD mainly MERELY, an academic exercise. That's all. You are not solving the real world problem. So we are teaching you how to do research. That's all. So it's no big deal. But even though when we are teaching you research, then you got so much headache. So can you imagine once you are on your own to do research? That's why we are giving you guidance. So the importance of our supervisors to be with you, try to guide you to do research. And after this, once you got the title doctorate, you will do it on your own. You are not referring again to your supervisors to help you, to guide. Okay, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. And according to Dr. Chiu, we open for any Q&A sessions. So before you want to ask questions, I would like to tell you my hearing left got problem. You have to speak louder, otherwise I can't hear you. Okay, this lady asked question, how can we improve our focus? Yeah, that's your question, right? That's why I always ask my student. That's why I always ask my student, and I keep my student. Hasan, are you agree with me when I say this? I keep my student busy all the time. When I keep my student busy all the time, he or she has no time to do something else. Right? When he or she doesn't have time to do anything other things, then she keep focusing on their work, and then they can complete the work faster. You cannot prolong, because how can you want to keep focus for a long time? It's impossible, right? That's why you have to do the work fast. You cannot simply just take your own sweet time. I give you an example. If I ask you to read one article, Why it take 1 week for you to read one article? You should read it within half an hour. Why it take 1 week? So how can you expect you can be focused all the time? So 7 times 24, how many hours that you need to work? Oh my God, it will be very impossible. So my advice to answer you, I said you have to keep yourself busy by having a plan, what you are supposed to do. For example, a week. I see my student every 2 weeks. I purposely ask my student to see I see my student every 2 weeks. Ask them to report what did they do for the past 14 days. Fighting, they have to report whatever. Oh, it's they are fighting with their wife, for example. They have to report. It takes 3 days for me to calm down. To fetch my mother-in-law from the airport. So they have to report, so that I know what they are busy with. Okay, guys? Yeah, louder please. I can hear you.
Well, thank you for your presentation. My question is, for example, I registered 2013 certification. 1 year it did time to evaluate and establish the problem. 2014, I know what is the problem and I have to do my part. Within this time, I have to read too many articles and find the certificate or something. I want to use your experience to solve this problem. I think this is for many of the students. 2017, now I want to start to write the thesis. When I come back, I see most of my research review was 2013, 2014. So it's old. And the new methodology coming. How to solve these problems?
Okay, guys. You make a very good question. It's very relevant. This is the issue that always PhD student faces. Okay. Now, can I share with them last time? When I receive student, PhD student, I just simply will ask them one question. What domain do you want to do? I'm not asking them to prepare a proposal. Because I know that they are going to have proposal depend later in semester 2. So I don't want to bother them to prepare a proposal in the beginning. I just simply ask them what domain that you want to do. Okay? Let's say you choose one domain. Let's say domain A. Okay? So I said, why not I give you 3 months, only reading article. One in the morning, one in the afternoon. So it means 2 articles per day, time 5, 10, time 4, 40 per month, time 3, 120 articles for 3 months. That's all. After that, I don't want them to bother anymore about that, because the purpose of for you to write and to read just to identify, remember, to identify the potential problem. That's all. Because you just imagine you are coming, you want to find a real problem in your domain. You have to review all the literature. 120, I think more than enough. Then you spend 3 months, right? Just reading day and night. No, 2 articles per day, you know. Is it big deal? Hello, is it big deal? No, right? That's why I don't want you to disturb your weekend. You can still spending your money going with your man or shopping. Because you are bringing money here, right? Spend it on the weekend. But you work in the lab for 7 days a week. Oh, what the hell you are doing? 3 months, you have a complete set, 120 papers. What you do after that? You analyze, you categorize all the problems that you are reading from, you are extracting from all the papers that you have read. From that, you can come up with the taxonomy of the problems. The material that you have collected, you can use to write survey paper or review paper. That material as well can be used for your chapter 2. It means that within 6 months, you are able to write chapter 2. Because you are killing two birds with one stone. Remember? You use the same material for you to write survey paper. That material can be used for you to write chapter 2 as well. So 6 months, done, gone. If you concentrate. If you focus. If not, after reading 2 papers, after 2 days you read 2 papers, then you start thinking, oh, there's a sale in Mega Mall. And then become finish, halas. Yeah? So this is the thing that you need to plan, based on your capability. But I advise you, you have to read 2 papers a day in the beginning. Once you already identify the potential problem, you have to work on that. That's all. You don't need to refer another material, because if you keep searching the material, and then you become endless. How many thousand articles in the world now? You must be crazy, man, you want to follow them. Eh? No. That's it. Yeah, I hope that I can answer you. Yes.
Yeah, sir. My own is not a question actually. I just want to make a request. So this kind of slide, can we have it? So maybe, if I can give it to admin and they can.
Okay. Since today is Monday, so I think whatever request that you want, we will run it.
Thank you very much.
Which faculty? Are you from which faculty you are?
Yeah, from this faculty.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone wants this.
How many from other faculty? Oh, not many, okay? Not many. Now, I can pass the slide to Dr. Chu. Dr. Chu will upload into my website, whatever website. That's up to you. You can distribute whatever you want. You can claim the ownership as well. I don't care. Not really important to me. Yes.
Sir, I still have one more request.
Wow, there's a Malay proverb says, you just like a dash, In Malay proverb says, when you hear someone saying that you are just like a dash, there's a story in Malacca before. A dash, a dash. They came to invade Malacca. They said that we want a piece of land, right? Small piece of land. Then what they did, they cut the skin of the cow into pieces. Then they spread all the skin into several larger size of land. So then they claim, the size of the land is belong to me because this all the land contain the pieces of cow skin. That's why God in Malay proverb says, you just like a Dutch. Yes.
Sir, I remember maybe 2 years ago when I took research methodology as a subject. So most of this information, if I'm not mistaken, we couldn't have it. So I think, sir, if possible, if the faculty can actually review the curriculum of research methodology, so that most of this information that we just passed, even though we attend this program today, so we understand everything that we pass through. But our new students that are coming after us, so in order to make it easy for the link and even for our supervisors.
Okay. Alright. That's why in the beginning of my talk just now, I put the word. I try to emphasize that this is not a standard. This is based on my experience. Sometimes the supervisor they have their own perspective. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, you cannot simply use my talk as your guideline. Cannot. You have to discover your supervisors. But whatever you want, I will pass my slide to the teacher. The teacher will upload into the website. Okay, you can refer. Yes.
Yes, sir, mine is a question on citations.
Okay.
Most times you read articles are cited by authors. Other articles are cited. Assuming I'm reading this article, the author would have cited some other authors, other works relevant to his work. Now, in the course of reading the article, I assume maybe come across a statement that is cited in the article. And that statement, maybe you would have identified my problem. So I want to cite the very article I'm reading. Now, if the author has cited that other author, and I want to cite the same statement. So this sometimes gives conflict. So how do we resolve this? Am I going to cite the original author, look for the original paper and cite, and cite the two authors that have come across it?
Okay.
So that's my question.
Okay. I don't know whether I can understand your question, but I'll try to answer this. Okay. When you are finding material or article for you to read, normally I will recommend only 3 places. Only 3 places. 1, ISI. Number 2, Scopus. And number 3, IEEE. That's all. Other than that, I'm not really recommending my student to read. Okay, normally from these places, 3 databases, so they are the most reliable, and we can trust the materials. The 3. Secondly, when you want to find the material for you to write, for you to read, always check the citation for that particular paper. The citation of the particular paper. If the paper contains no citation number, I recommend it don't read. Because any paper, I want to repeat this, I want to say this one very openly. Any paper without citation is a rubbish. If you don't understand rubbish, I could use another word. It's called trash. Okay? Any paper in the world, no matter who wrote it, without citation is rubbish. So why must you read rubbish paper? So only find paper who got citation. That's all. Okay? Yeah.
That's not my question, sir. Yeah, that's not my question. You have, sorry, you might have written a paper. You are the author of the paper, and you have cited other authors. And in your paper, I saw a citation that you have made that is maybe relevant to my work or that have addressed an issue in my work. And I want to cite it from your own article. Am I going to cite all both you and that other author you cited, or I should refer to the main author you cited?
Okay.
That's the question I ask.
If you find the material in my paper is new, then you have to cite my paper. If you find the material in my paper is similar to the paper that I referred to, then you cite that paper. Okay? Okay, done. Done, okay. Any more question? Okay, now. I'm sure not all of you from computer science department, right? Computer science faculty, right? So from I don't know from which party you are from, but let me tell you guys. Again, please find anchor paper for you to read with. To read first. Anchor paper. Anchor paper meaning that the paper receive a lot of citation. Thousand and thousand, then it's called anchor paper. Even though it's old paper, 1927, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's called anchor paper. So you find one anchor paper to start with, and then from anchor paper, then you can find a lot of papers for you to read. Okay? Yes.
So, in the process of evaluating, viewing other people's work, at times as a student, your supervisor will tell you to read dissertation. And these dissertations, some of them are over 400 pages. Is it possible for one to read that with mental faculty and evaluate, review it that very day and do two at a time? Because you said you can read 2 articles in a day. And dissertation at times is over 100 pages.
We are from fish faculty. I don't know why the supervisor asked you to read the thesis. I don't know. I don't know why the supervisor asked you to read the thesis. But tell me, to be honest with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, until now, I cannot declare my thesis that I wrote is a good one. I cannot declare that. Because to me, I was lucky because my thesis was evaluated by someone who can agree with the work that I have done. That's all. Right? If I give my thesis to Miss Laiha, finish, I cannot get PhD. Right? So that's why I said I don't want you to refer to one particular thesis. Unless sometimes the supervisor feel that the thesis is good. They feel that. The reality is not. Because to me, a good thesis, I said you must remember, a good thesis, besides substance, it also must be good in appearance. Appearance of the thesis, the writing and so on. Okay? I have received comment from external examiners about my student thesis. They are good. External, but Dr. Roslika said not good. Right? So I don't blame Dr. Rosli because Dr. Rosli got their own perceptions on the quality. So in your case, my advice to you, try to read the thesis. Just one pages. 100 pages is the 1 day, or 100 pages, 4 days. Not even 1 week you finish. Right? And again, lady, I just want to I offer you my advice. Don't do something in your mind that you want to retaliate, or you want to show anger, or you want to what else? Miss Nara, what I must use? You are being stressful. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you are the one who will be suffering later on. Just take it easy, enjoy. The supervisor ask you to read. Okay, ma'am. Give me 1 week, I'll read it. Whether you read it or not, it doesn't matter. Right? Yeah. Question just now from the lady saying that some supervisor doesn't like the old article. I also don't like old article. I said anchor paper. If the supervisor doesn't like anchor paper, it means something wrong with the supervisor. I said anchor paper. Normally, anchor paper is old. I did not say it's old paper. I said anchor paper. Normally, anchor paper is old paper. So, if the supervisor doesn't like anchor paper, I said something wrong with the supervisor. Okay? Because that were worldwide accepted. Anchor paper was what? If he doesn't like it, then he doesn't recognize the quality of the paper. So I will start asking, who is she or he? Right? Okay, any more questions before we finish? Any more? Yeah. This lady in France asked question whether she can write a literature review from article or from book. Okay. Now, what is literature review? You are reviewing the literature, right? So normally a book, to me, if you ask me my opinion, this is my opinion, right? You ask another guy, they will give another opinion. For me, I will not encourage my student to read book. For social science, they can read book. But for technical, normally we don't read book, only technical. Social science, yeah, they read book. The reason is very simple, because normally books are not verified by, not like a journal papers. Because once you submit a journal paper, they need to be checked by reviewers, and only after they pass through the reviewing process, then they will publish the article, right? So the quality is there. And secondly, it's a new thing, a new material. Compared to books, normally they are old materials. So my point of view, I will not recommend you write literature review based on material that you get from book. I'm not recommending. Because if you get material from book, this is what we call it fact lifting. You know, like fact lifting, lift from one start to another one. No, we don't want that. In your literature, in chapter 2, you must offer your new insight, INSIGHT, new perspective. You collect the material from article, you blend it, then you have your own perspective. That's what you write in your literature review. Okay? Don't do fact lifting from one source to another source. No, we don't want that. That's why if you look at that, at the end of the thesis, they put the word references, not bibliography, right? What's the difference between references and bibliography? In references, you are reading from certain material, from certain page number. But bibliography, you don't put the page number, you just simply put all the name of the books on it. My recommendation, don't do that. It's not really good. Because actually literature review is very simple. Just simply based on the title of your thesis. So in your title, normally if you look at the title, they contain noun, N-O-U-N. That noun need to be covered in your literature review. In your title, we look at no matter how long your title is, there's always nouns. That noun, phrases or noun need to be, is a domain. It's a domain that you need to cover in your literature review. It's quite easy. Okay, any question before we... Yes. Okay, there are many, this question has been asked by my student before. The question like this, how can you protect your idea? How can you protect your idea while you are submitting your paper to a journal? And then normally it takes some time as well, right? For the journal to review your paper and to process it. While you are waiting for the decisions of your paper, then come up with another paper similar to yours. So how do you protect that? Okay. My idea like this. There are two ways that you can do. One, from legal perspective. I repeat this, from legal perspective. If you got any idea, brilliant idea, what you have to do, you just simply get a recorder, and then you describe your ideas, record it, and you burn into a CD. Then that CD you put into an envelope to your cell address. Then you ask them to ask the post office to stamp on your letter. When you receive the letter, don't open it. That material can be used in the court to claim the ownership. For example, in your case, right just now, if you submitted your paper, let's say on the certain day, okay, then someone else submitted later than that, but they claim the ownership is theirs. If you can prove in the court that the idea was originally from you, you have mentioned that in the form of recorded materials that you can present to the court, then the court can consider to award you the case. That's number one. Anything, guys, anything. If you have any idea, you talk with, let's say you don't trust your supervisor, right? You see this, your supervisor look honky, right? And then you want to, what you do, at home you record whatever your ideas, and then let your supervisor steal your idea, and then after that, if the supervisor steal your idea, maybe after that the supervisor kick you out, and then he will do on the idea, then you can sue them in court. Okay, for your permission, ladies and gentlemen, for civil court, for civil suit in Malaysia, there is no limit that you can sue. There's no limit, meaning that you can put 100 million, 200 million. Civil suit, there's no limit. So just imagine, if your supervisor being sued 100 million, he or she has to sell everything, you know. That's the way, that's number one. Number two, what you can do, right, when you have the idea, try to record your idea in the literature, meaning that by writing a small paper, then you send to archive. There are so many archives in the world. Okay, that one is very easy. When you submit to them, they will accept it, they will keep it. Then they put the date. There are so many archives right now in the world that you can send to. It's very simple. So you can protect your idea. Again, ladies and gentlemen, so I heard this many times. You are scared about your idea being stolen. Don't worry. I want to tell you, it's nothing great about your idea. You think that your idea is great. No, there are 7.3 billion people in this world. You're only one of the 7.3 billion people. You think that you are the one thinking about the idea? No, man. Right? So don't bother about that one. Just don't think about something that's not really important. No. What I want to tell you just now, I said back at the beginning, PhD is merely an academic exercise. That's all. Why not you just simply complete your PhD, then after that you can go home, then do whatever you want to do, finish. Don't trouble yourself with something that's not really important. Okay? Last question? Before we, yes.
Thank you, sir, for the information that you shared to us. My question actually is about regarding the Anchor paper, the citation you mentioned.
Second, what is it?
My question regarding citation, number of citations, the Anchor paper. Yeah. Sometimes you can, does it necessarily means the high number of citations means the paper is, or the idea is good? Because, for instance, an author A can publish a paper A and they got, thousands of citations. And maybe all those 1,000 citations, they are all opposing his, proposed solution. So I just...
So what is your question?
My question is, number of citations, will it always determine that, the paper or the idea is good?
I don't know how to answer this, to be honest with you. I don't know how to answer this. When you are disputing about the Anchor paper, I don't know how to answer that. Okay? Now, but in the academic world, we accept the fact that if an Anchor paper is an Anchor paper, whether it has been cited by their own colleague or not, it was not counted at all.
Yeah.
It means they are condemning that idea and they're referring. And that's what he's saying.
Does it make sense to you?
No, not for me.
But it does happen.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Leha. Answering for me. Okay, any question? Because just now I promised to Dr. Chu I will finish my talk at 4. So I got another 10 minutes. If you want to ask question, please welcome. Yes, please. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, most of the discussions are based on a PhD work. How do you limit this session for master work or master students?
Okay. Okay, let me ask the deputy dean. Is there any difference between thesis, the thesis writing between PhD and master? Thesis writing is similar. Only the scopes are only different, right? Right? The amount of work, and then the amount of word, right? But it's still the same. When you are reporting, for example, when you are reporting final year project, or you are reporting a thesis at the master level, or you are reporting a thesis at the PhD level, it's still the same to me. The content is still the same. Okay? But only the difference between the scope will be different. Because in PhD, they have to, the concept like this, breadth and depth. They must cover, and then they have to concentrate. That's the concept of PhD. Okay? Any more? No more? If not, I will take the disability to thank each of you and for coming, and especially to my staff. I saw many my lecturers here. Thank you for bringing down, try to be humble to yourselves by coming here today. And then I think outside they provide you like refreshment. Then I think you can join us as well. Thank you very much.